go right down here.
Comment whams.
Comment whams.
Not on this video, but every other video.
Well,
you can do it on this video as
but
well.
after it's, after it's done streaming, or like on the actual stream video, not like in the fucking stream comments. I fucking hit the like button on every comment that I get. I'm very I read them all. I'm at work and I'm going, that's funny.
He's got hot oil pouring over his phone. He's like, oh wow.
Yeah, I'm literally changing someone's oil. I have my hand up there, taking the screw out, and then I'm like looking through, and I'm like, oh, everybody said whams.
This is the voice of God. After literally 3 months of hype, we are finally covering Ichi the Witch.
Which the hype was deserved.
Yeah, so the manga is Ichi the Witch, which we
also I think
have been talking about since like episode 2, maybe.
Yeah.
Because I brought it up simply as one of the manga that is like current, that is really popular.
It's awesome.
And I have already been keeping up with it. And you've been giving it really high praise lately. What would you say is your score?
It's probably a 10. It checks all the boxes for me. Yeah, it looks really cool. The power system's cool. The main character's fun and weird. The other characters are also fun and weird. There's a nebulous bad guy who I assume we will never see again until the end of the manga.
Yeah, the world hater.
Yeah, it's cool.
Well, he shows up here and there, but yeah, so
he's mentioned as well. Yeah,
Ichi the Witch is something that I clicked on whenever it was at like 15 chapters in the Shonen Jump app, and I just read through it, and then I've been keeping up with it ever since, and it's been pretty good.
Ichi is a child that was abandoned on a mountain.
Yeah, so
in a world where only women can be witches. This world has these things called magics, M-A-J-I-K. They are basically wild monsters.
I always say Majik.
Majik, okay. They're wild monsters who you have to perform a task for them to gain their power. And this is initially introduced as just like a thing the magics want you to do, and we slowly get introduced to the fact that they are sentient creatures who don't necessarily want to live in someone's stomach or whatever
when they sort of do like the introduction of Majiks, it's like as if they are just sort of a force of nature that's like kind of playful almost, and it's like, haha, you do this little task and you can control me. But then like when the plot actually is going, most of the Majiks are like
fucking shit up.
Like, well, and also I'm fucking weird and crazy, and my task is for you to do something really like esoteric.
Ichi is Ichi is the first male witch. He was abandoned on this mountain, and he became a really good hunter. He's got this crazy sense for bloodlust, and so if he detects bloodlust, he kills the thing. That's kind of his whole deal. So he's got a certain moral code as well, where he only kills if something. Well, he only kills if he's going to eat it, or if the thing is trying to kill him. I think is basically it.
Right.
So he's up on the mountain. Some witches. He sees like this big scary monster, and kind of.
He essentially wants to kill things if they just have murderous intent. Like if they are not trying to like just. Like survive.
Death for death. That's what he calls it.
If something's trying to kill him, he's gonna kill them. But if something is killing just for the sake of killing, he's gonna hunt them. That's kind of like his moral code.
But he sees this weird monster with big hair on the mountain, and he goes, "Fuck, I'm not gonna mess with that. That thing looks scary." So he leaves it alone and goes away. And then some witches show up. Witches prior to this point have always been women. Trying to tame this, it's a magic, or Majik, one of the magic monsters. But this Majik's task is, and you've actually explained this before, you can only kill me if you're not a woman, basically.
So we actually when we first get introduced to this, what he says is, my task is that you must pierce my heart. But he does not say the rest, which Descaris, who is like the fucking goat. Bad bitch of witches. She is the goat. She's the Gojo for this story, which a lot of the plot elements can just be fucking 1-to-1 compared to JJK.
That might be why it's a 10 for me.
Yeah, Descaris is the Gojo of this. She's like taking down Uroro, which is the king.
The king magic.
He's essentially the Sukuna of Ichi the Witch. And
I would say World Eater's more Sukuna.
as far as power scaling, yeah, but like as far as
Personality
powerful
and like
character
living
who
in
gets,
the person.
yeah. So Descaris is like handling his ass, but then she goes to pierce his heart and she can't, and he goes, "Oh well, I never told you. Only a man can pierce my heart," and so he thinks that that's like
Gay.
it's kind of gay, which I think that this manga. So I'm gonna state this right now. So when I first started this, I thought this is really really sexist. The idea that it's like a world where like women are the strongest, but the main character is a man who comes through and they have to be saved by the man.
And he's instantly better than all
yeah,
of them.
and he's
also.
so good. He's the man. But I thought of two things that make it maybe a little better. One, I think Ichi is gender fluid. Maybe
Because he wears those boots.
yeah, maybe assigned female at birth.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that makes it more interesting.
Sure. But identifies as a man, and so he can.
Yeah, which
Does
there
magic
is
work like that? Who knows?
I don't know. But there is a couple parts where like he's got his shirt off and it's like I don't know. But at the same time it's more interesting to think of it that way. And then another thing is just that like there's so much queer coded stuff that goes on. Like Gokuraku is so gay.
I love him. He's awesome.
Yeah.
He's so fucking funny.
Yeah. He's
Also,
great.
all of the imagery with him of like the rocks up his spine, the gauntlets, the way his powers work for whatever reason.
Yeah.
His whole backstory is awesome. This arc, the Gokuraku arc.
So that was the thing that sold it for me. Because when I was reading it, I was like, I don't know, this is like okay. Which by the way, my overall rating is like an 8 or a 9. But
I will say,
and I'm caught up.
I fully thought Gokuraku was just gonna like become the second male witch, but then they do this weird thing where they're fighting the tapir magic, where he goes, "Oh, Gokuraku's doing the trial, but Ichi gets the power," and I was just kind of thinking, but why? Like,
Well, because he as much as
Why-
Gokuraku has imbued himself with magical tools, he still doesn't actually like his soul doesn't have the like magical connection to the. It's
but
like
why?
it's not fully explained yet what the hell makes Ichi special.
Well, it's sort of just explained away of like, oh, he was living on the mountain for so long. He's just like so physically strong and mentally strong that he can put up
Like
with his power.
The way that I interpreted when he beats Uroro, which is in like the second chapter, I think.
Yeah.
Is just that any man could have done that. Uroro was just really strong, and no man could have done that because they were not a witch.
But Ichi's also not about like physical strength necessarily.
Yeah, he's
a
a trapper.
Yeah.
And so Descaris already did most of the fucking heavy work, and she's a fucking badass.
And then
he just sort of
Uroro-
comes in and it's just like,
Yoink.
I'm gonna stab you in the heart, and then he happens to do that, and then Uroro is just really special, and so it was like, oh, I mean, a man stabbed your heart, so that's the fucking thing, and then he got sucked into Ichi, which I don't know if it happened in the first 30 chapters actually, I don't remember, but they explain that like when you have the magiques, they are in this sort of like realm.
This is explained in the first 30.
I was like, I flipped through the first 30 so fast. But
Because that one ice witch starts bitching about having to take that mushroom magic because it's ruining her internal zen or whatever.
because I don't think it gets shown until the tapir magic gets thrown in there, right?
It's right before. No, it's right before or right after World Hater is shown for the first time.
Okay.
Because she has the mushroom thing, and the mushroom thing is just offering all the magiques in her. I forget what they call it. Well, we're just gonna call it a domain.
It's kind of like a domain.
Her domain or like mind place. I don't know. The mushroom magic that she spitefully took on to fuck with Ichi is ruining her internal peace because it's just vibing with all the other ice magics and like, hey, you want some cool mushrooms?
Yeah. I have to urinate really bad, but while I do that, explain the power system Just focus on the power system as much as you can.
Okay, so the power system of Ichi the Witch is basically you can only be a woman unless you're Ichi to be a witch. The Majiks are all over the country. I believe that it's something like there's 2,000 or 3,000 confirmed Majiks and plenty more they don't know about. You can have as many Majiks as you really can collect. And they all manifest themselves. They either manifest themselves as like they just kind of get absorbed into you, or some kind of little stone with their word of power, which is basically just their true name, and that is the spell that only you, the person who conquered the Majik, can use. And so, in the first 30 chapters, Ichi has Uroro, who is the King Majik. Basically, his thing there's also generic spells that kind of anyone can use, but so Uroro makes it so the generic spells or any spell really is super amplified, but it has the downside of making Ichi fall asleep for 3 days. He also gets like a lightning wolf. I don't remember the lightning wolf's name, but it is implied to be I believe what he says, the Majik says, is that he is the fire that is caused by lightning. And so he's kind of both fire and lightning. Most of it is used as like Ichi uses lightning with his blade. And his trial was there was like an orb in his Majik form, and you had to take the Majik form. Ichi just traps it and cuts it out and wins. And then the third one Ichi gets is, gosh, it's like an ice shark, but it's like a diva ice shark.
Yeah.
And the diva ice shark's trial is to make it beautiful. And so Descaris and Karugi?
I think Komugi is right.
Yeah. And Ichi all try to dress it up nice, and they get close once, but none of it really passes the trial. And so what Ichi does is Ichi jumps into the shark's mouth, fillets it from the inside, and creates such a beautiful and delicious sashimi out of it that the shark goes, "Damn, you win." And then we get some Ichi backstory of like he once met a fisherman on the mountain who kind of taught him the lay of the land. The fisherman literally jumped out of a fish at him, and Ichi was like, "What the fuck?" And the fisherman went, "Well, I've always wanted
Slight
to."
spoiler, but that fisherman is finally introduced now. Catch up.
Okay.
He's like a character now.
But the fisherman just kind of goes like, "Yeah, I always wanted to fillet a fish from the inside, and I didn't want to see anyone to see me doing it." And then you have this is explained, I believe, in the first 30 chapters. I read 40 because the arc ends.
Yeah, it would have ended like right in the middle of the arc if you had stopped at 30.
It's like a tapir Majik, but specifically it's called
wait, before we get into that. So yeah, you've explained all that. Did you explain the magic items and stuff like that? Which kind of
Oh yes, I'm sorry. There are magic items as well, and so those men can't use them. Non-witch women can, but not as well as witches can. But they're basically items that have magical something or other imbued into them, and they activate by putting magical power into them. The first example we see of this specifically is Ichi gets taken to the big witch town, and he gets some sleigh boots, and they let him jump really high. We also see a pen that dispenses water and also has infinite ink. It's a pen that's a wand also.
Yeah. Very similar to Witch Hat Atelier. But
it is very close to it, yes.
Yeah. So I have a couple things to say. First, I will address what Gary always just said, which was I only read the first 2 chapters, but I got the impression that what made Ichi special is that his approach is so different, which is
Somewhat
fair. They do say that, but I don't think that they are necessarily saying that that's why he was able to capture why he was able to be a witch, but that is how he is able to like capture witches so efficiently already instead of like how witches are going about it right now because
it's said that typically Majik hunts take like weeks or even years, and Ichi has like 3 of them.
Like they're almost playing a game with the witches in a way. Like they kind of come into the world like when we see
the lightning one.
Yeah, the lightning one. He comes into the world and he's kind of already talking about it. Like he's like, oh well, I'm gonna go kill some humans, I guess, and I really want to like impress the human hater Majiks, like there's almost some kind of like game going on with them, and they know what's going on, so they understand how witches are going to be approaching them. But Ichi is not doing that because he's a fucking feral beast that just traps animals.
He is, yeah.
He's not the typical woman that they're used to fighting. But whether or not that actually is what makes him able to become a witch is not necessarily shown yet. The other thing that I wanted to say has completely abandoned my mind, so maybe it doesn't fucking matter that much.
Oh, real quick. Shade, you never gave a score.
8 or 9, he did.
I did, yeah. I said like 8 or 9.
Is that just based on these early chapters, or how do you
It's based
feel
on the
now?
whole thing. So like the early chapters, I think I was at like a 6. Like until the Tapir arc started, I was at like a 6 or a 7, where I was kind of going, I don't know. But we can get into the Tapir arc, which is Gokuraku's arc, which starts I think in like chapter 21 or something, and then it goes into like chapter 40. It's actually a decently
It's like
long arc.
41. Yeah, it's like 20 whole chapters.
Yeah. And it's actually really good. It kind of made me feel like One Piece almost with like how the arcs are structured, where they show up into a town, or in One Piece's case, it's an island.
Specifically, they get a prophecy from the Oracle Witch, who is a Majik that is inhabiting a comatose woman's body.
Who is a really cool Majik.
Cool character. They get a prophecy that says you're going to go to this place, you're going to get the power of a sleeping Majik, and you're going to make a new friend. And so they come across... Oh, Ichi gets the spider thing, too. So that he gets like 5. Damn.
He's fucking strong.
Yeah. So Ichi goes and finds the spider thing, or the spider Majik, and just finds some dude beating the fuck out of it, just destroying it.
Yeah.
And he's like, make me a witch. Make me a witch, damn it. Make me a witch. And Gokuraku is the character who's doing this. Cannot be a witch, but he has imbued himself with so many magical tools and elements. Apparently, he's like 75% magical tool at this point. I don't know. It doesn't specifically say that.
He's almost an android.
Yeah,
is essentially what they're saying.
But he will when he's fighting, he will go. It's like synchrony rate or something.
Yeah,
and then
how much he has been able to synchronize with his like magical tool.
Evangelion.
Kind of. I think it's more. He understands the levels of power they have, and he chooses the rate based on what he's fighting. Because we do see a synchrony rate 100% by the end of the Tapir arc.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just like he was so in tune with it because he was punching the Tapir Majik. But I think it's more he's like measuring his power for each fight. But basically, so Gokuraku is just this dude who goes around beating the fuck out of Majiks, kind of for shits and giggles. But he has great respect for literally every other animal, because at first Ichi hates this guy because he sees him beating up the Majiks.
He just thinks he's violent for no reason.
But then he hangs out with Gokuraku. He gets separated from the other witches he's hanging out with, and ends up with Gokuraku. And he sees Gokuraku hunt, and Gokuraku just like beheads a goat in one slice and goes, "Wow." Ichi goes, "Wow, this guy does have respect. This thing didn't feel pain." Blah, 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 blah. And then we're introduced to a nation which is named after the Tapir Majik, and I don't remember what it's called exactly.
Yeah. Real quick, before you get into that. So, Pedro Henrique brought up a good point. I read the first chapter and didn't get it. Not sure how this is any different from the average Shonen Jump manga or what makes it special. And that is exactly why I said my score was like a 6 when I first started reading it, was because I thought the same way. But what makes it special to me is the character writing. I think the characters are way more interesting than the average Shonen Jump manga. Like Ichi is way more interesting than like Yuji. Like Yuji.
That's not a high bar.
Yeah, Yuji is super uninteresting. Midoriya is super uninteresting.
I would say Ichi's closest...
Eren is super uninteresting.
I think Ichi's closest comparable thing to a Shonen Jump is Denji. I think Ichi and Denji are very
He's pretty close to
similar.
Denji. He's also very similar to Luffy. like just kind of an airheaded, acts on instinct kind of character, makes some really funny like goofy little jokes. Is kind of raised to be almost just feral. So like most normal people just go like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" But like
So I am
his
sorry
instinct is
to
really good.
derail because I haven't seen One Piece. What is like Luffy like? What's his backstory? Because I know his brother and shit exist, but like, was he raised on an island or
So
something?
yes, like so Luffy's backstory is not done anywhere close to the beginning.
I would imagine.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
Well, but-
like, what's the
So Luffy-
Cliff's Notes?
Yeah, Luffy as a kid was sort of abandoned on an island with his grandfather, who his grandfather is in the Navy. But his grandfather was kind of too busy to like take care of him, so he gave Luffy to this like woman. I don't really remember what her relationship was to Garp, but he gave him to her to like raise him. And he's kind of a shrimp, and he gets raised alongside Ace, who is actually
Yes.
Goldie Rogers' son, which is
I
plot line. But they are sort of raised together, and then this other guy who's named Sabo is also on the island, but he's kind of like a rich kid that just doesn't want to be like a nobleman.
okay.
And they're all sort of living together in like literally just like a junkyard, just like a trash heap of like part of an island.
Oh, actually, sorry, because you said trash.
Gachiakata?
Yes, the actual person I think Ichi is the most like, aside from the weird dissociative shit, is Rudo.
Yeah, but Rudo's so fucking angry.
Yes. And that's the weird, angry, dissociative
Yeah.
shit. But in terms of like circumstance and what's going on and aptitude, I think it's that or Denji. Maybe a mix of both.
Gun's also a good example. Like somebody who acts on instinct is kind of like just airheaded, but also like just really good natured, and is like generally kind of positive, just like super curious and loves the hunt. Yeah, Gun might be actually the
I think
closest.
so,
Gun
yeah.
or Luffy, which also Hunter x Hunter is like my second favorite fucking manga of all time. So like One Piece and then fucking Hunter x Hunter. So
Yeah, you can't beat Hunter x Hunter for power system.
having a main character that's like them is
High praise.
damn good to me.
But so the Tapir arc, they go to a country where there is a Majik that has taken away everyone's sorrow. And this is viewed as a good thing. It's seen as having turned around the country. And in the last 10 years, it has taken this country from financial ruin to like the highest tourist destination in the world.
Which, so I had already made the parallel to One Piece with how this chapter is handled, or this arc is handled, because they show up at a place and the main characters just sort of learn what's going on, and then they get like their motivation for like why they want to save this fucking country or whatever. But the way the tapir works is very similar to the smile fruits in One Piece, which are
those devil fruits?
it's
or-
a synthetic devil fruit
Okay.
that has like a really low chance of actually giving you a devil fruit ability.
But it can.
It can.
Just eat them a bunch. Just eat them over and over.
No, you can only eat one. That's how devil fruits work. You can only have one, except if you're fucking Marshall D. Teach. But anyway,
I just want to mention the author of Ichi the Witch is 34, the artist is 28, meaning they definitely, like myself, grew up with One Piece.
there you go.
Unquestionably had to be an influence.
3428. Hey.
So the smile fruits.
I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello.
What they do is that if they don't
1738. Fetty Wap.
if they don't give you a devil fruit ability, they still give you the downside that you can't swim, which is what all devil fruit abilities
That's
do.
fucked.
But you don't get the ability, and you are no longer able to do like showcase any other emotion aside from smiling.
Okay,
So,
that is kind of funny.
If you're really sad or you're really angry, you are always smiling. So that's why they're called the smile fruits.
Fucked.
So the tapir is kind of similar. However, what the tapir does is that it actually literally takes those emotions
sorrow.
away.
Yeah.
Like all the sad, all the regrettable emotion, or I guess not regrettable, but like the emotions that don't feel good, it takes it away, and you're just left with pleasure and happiness. which means that
Happy,
you
happy,
can't
joy, joy, happy, happy, joy.
you can't fucking grieve. You can't fucking accept.
Stimpy?
Yeah. Why do you think I had happy, happy, joy, joy stuck in my
This is
head
off,
for 3
this is
years?
off mic. You can't actually like process like real shit that happens in your life,
Which is a problem.
which is a huge problem for this country. If you want to go ahead and continue.
Yeah, so none of the people in the country view it as a problem. They're going to execute any witch or anyone who tries to harm / capture the Majik, which is what the Majik wants. Gokuraku was raised in this country, and he believes the Majik is evil because the Majik showed up at the same day his mother died. The Majik, spoiler, is evil. It's a really bad thing. So what it's actually doing is it takes away the sorrow and then brings it back tenfold to make the people just go fucking insane and just completely lose all their shit.
Essentially, if like so, like what the tapir takes away,
Well, and the
it
tapir
can
also
give it back, and then like it'll make you so fucking depressed you just instantly kill yourself.
the
is what
tapir
what it does.
also is implied to be like kind of a secondary body to the actual Majik, because the actual Majik is humanoid, which is the second time we've seen this, because the world hater is a humanoid Majik.
Uroto is also kind of humanoid, and I think it's stated that like the stronger Majiks are humanoid, which is also, I don't know, speciesist a little bit. Like, what the fuck makes humans special? You know what I'm saying?
Sure, it's just
We invented everything, all right?
We invented everything.
I guess I get where you're coming from. It is weird that they manifest themselves as humanoids, but do you think in a world where, let's say, lizards took over, they'd manifest themselves as lizards, super powerful ones?
So what I think
is it just
that,
like copycatting?
What I think is that the implication is almost because like I would think we would go by evolution, right? And if I'm going to be the strongest fucking thing in existence, I am not going to manifest into the world as humans, which are pretty efficient, but also not like evolutionarily the best thing ever. It's just that we're really
you'd
smart.
manifest into the world as an attack helicopter.
No, because I wouldn't have enough dexterity. Like I'd have like
A
8
transformer.
arms, some that are small, some that are big, that can do different things. I'd have like however many legs is the best for speed. I'd have wings. I'd be a fucking Cthulhu monster because that's probably the most efficient and best.
Or like
thing to be.
there's a Greek monster that has like 100 pairs of arms.
Yeah.
That is kind of implied with that. I don't remember what they're
Or
called.
if possible, like if I could just change form to fit whatever is the most necessary.
Shapeshifters, if that ever happens in terms of evolution, that's the strongest thing you could possibly do. You can just change whatever you need to fit
Just
the bill.
reminded me of Maddox saying he loves VR because he could become Goro.
From Mortal
Kombat with 4 arms. Y'all have to wrap this up in 5 minutes.
No, we don't.
No, you don't. But you've been talking for 30 minutes. Is all I'm saying.
This is great. It's a great manga.
It's
I
pretty
like
good.
it.
Bird did score this above Akira.
Yeah, this is a 10.
That is wild. I do think that Akira is pretty fucking good, but yeah, wrap up what goes on in this arc.
So Gokuraku is revealed to be the first prince of this nation, which has had all of its sorrow removed from it. The tapir is going to there's about to be this big festival celebrating 10 years of the tapir coming in and revitalizing the nation. And the God, what is its fucking name? So the tapir is like a secondary body to the actual Majik, and the actual Majik is kind of like a Twinkie looking dude with really small glasses. And he is the joyful sorrow Majik. And so on the festival day, when everyone who has ever had their sorrow taken away comes back, he is going to give their sorrow back to them and make everyone kill each other. So Goku or themselves, but I think it's more implied he's trying to get everyone to kill each other, because I don't know.
Wants everyone dead.
Yeah,
Because-
because he's a world hater stan. Or,
Yeah, he's super in love with the world hater magic,
yeah,
which we didn't talk about a whole lot. But the world hater magic is just established as like the ultimate evil
He
who like
warps
wants
things
all
away.
humanity to be dead, and he
that's
like
his purpose. Yeah,
he almost has to bring up One Piece again because there's definitely a lot of One Piece influence. So Doflamingo in One Piece has an ability called the Bird Cage, where he has like a bunch of strings like come from the sky down into like a cage formation, and it sort of just like closes in, and there's pretty much nothing that can fucking do anything about that cage. And as it closes in, it just sort of destroys everything in its path. And the
Okay.
World Hater Magic does something really similar.
but it's with a bunch of titans, basically. He creates a domain expansion. There's a bunch of titans on the outside of it, and then they advance. And
Yeah.
they warp away, is what it's called, everything that's there.
right. So it kind of fucking just like morphs things. Like things just get all fucked up. Like the whole landscape is just weird and fucked up after he touches it.
Yeah.
And the witches are just like, what the hell? You know?
What the hell?
What
the helly?
What the helly? What the heliante?
But so they Gokuraku and Ichi take on the tapir magic, and Gokuraku actually does the trial, which is oh god, what's the number? The tapir magic has taken the sorrow out of something like 10,000 people. I believe it is 10,000, and the trial is to bear the weight of all 10,000 people's sorrow. And his trial is specifically you have to do that, and I get to choose who bears the weight. Gokuraku also has a younger sister, so at first it's like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to put the 10,000 sorrows onto your sister. And ultimately it goes to Gokuraku instead. Ichi fights Gokuraku, who is going through the sorrow. And Gokuraku basically goes, fucking stab me anywhere you want, except for the rocks on my back. And so Ichi goes, all right. Now we're cooking.
Yeah, and so he just starts hunting the fuck out of him.
Yeah. Ultimately, Gokuraku has all the sorrow. They pass the trial. They are now the nation is freed, but it's like a happy and sad thing because the thing that was creating all of their happiness for so long is dead, and also there's another extenuating circumstance that I don't remember exactly, but everyone's kind of sad about it, but they're not executing the witches about it. It's really great. I will very likely, when this stream is over, be reading more of Ichi the Witch because I really enjoyed it.
It's really, I think the character writing is top notch. Like the designs are cool. Some of the characters are a little cringy designed.
I do really want to learn what the fuck is going on with Descara or whatever her name is.
Descaris. She gets There's some of her backstory is explained in like chapter.
What do you mean by
60.
cringy designed?
I don't know. They just look like a fucking like 15-year-old on Tumblr designed them.
Some of them do.
I
The
really
Ice
hate
Witch.
Gokuraku's fucking face.
Oh
and
no, he's
hair.
great. He's what's the cool
I
guy
hate
in
his face and hair.
Gurren Lagann?
The
Kamina?
cool
Yeah,
guy?
he kind of looks
Kamina?
like Kamina. He's kind of got Kamina
He's
vibes.
got
going
Kamina's
on.
like eyes, but not his hair or his fucking style.
I think I don't know.
I think Kamina is a very cringy design also.
Yeah.
So like
I think Kamina's
you're
cool as
nostalgic.
Kamina's cool as fuck. He's just shirtless with a fucking pair of pants on.
He's cool in
And
a
Which is
cringy
also
way.
what Gokuraku wears for a fair amount of the show.
But his hair,
Or
I hate
manga.
his stupid rat tail, man. The fucking
No, his hair looks great.
oh man, the rat tail. It drives me nuts.
He's a Padawan, brother.
The Ichi's design is awesome. Descaris is awesome.
I think most of the
Komugi's
characters,
pretty awesome.
most of the
Yeah, so
characters,
most of them are great.
yeah. There's also the guild of like
Yeah, the leader
analysis
of
witches. No, the guild of analysis witches. They're all adorable for
Yeah.
some reason. The oracle witch is like clown core very hard.
yeah, and she's wearing
Um,
sleepwear a lot of the time.
The ice witch looks cool. She's edgy as fuck. I don't remember what her name is.
She kind of reminded me of like something from Genshin Impact.
Yeah. I have to piss. What are we covering next week?
Oh wait, Bird.
Oh no.
Since you gave this a 10, do you think this is the best manga you've read so far for this, or
Probably.
so better than Maison?
It's close to Maison. I think Maison's a little more confusing than this is, and that's why I think. Did I give Maison a 10?
You gave You gave it like a strong 9. I think
thought
there's
you-
something else you gave it 10.
I'm sure there was.
There was something else we asked this question about, and you said Maison might be above it. So
No,
Ichi the
Maison's-
Witch might be the new number 1.
I think it is for me. Yeah, this is the first one I will like. I know for a fact I will actively read the rest.
You did unreservedly just go 10,
Yeah.
which I don't think you've done for a manga
I have to
yet.
piss.
That's
So
why
bad.
I was like, really? Okay, yeah, just a 10.
We'll do
Translation you
the,
read
we'll
was
do
kinda
the
goofy.
announcement. when
Yeah,
he
so
gets
I
here.
just read the official Shonen Jump.
Yeah,
Like,
Shade
it's
has
on the
the
Shonen
app.
Jump app. So I have like the official translation, which I will also say I think
Wait, put my camera on so I can just put Big Man on screen.
yeah, so I think
Oh,
the
shit,
only
it doesn't go
time
any
where
further.
even the
Fuck,
official
never
translation
mind.
might be just like a little hard to get what they're saying
Big
is
Man fully
actually
asleep
in
my
the
chair.
moment where
I'm just gonna move it.
Uroto is explaining that like only a man can like capture him, because he essentially just says like no woman can capture me, but it's like I don't know, it's sort of the same as the Witch King of Angmar, so from Lord of the Rings. So in Lord of the Rings, the Witch King of Angmar
Oh yeah, no
says,
man can defeat me.
no man
I
can
am
defeat
no
me.
man.
And then I don't remember her name. She takes off her helmet. And she said,
Erwin?
"I am no man." I think Awen is the elf,
Oh, never mind.
or like half elf.
I don't know shit.
But she takes off her helmet. And she's like, "I am no man," and then she kills him. But that's heavily explained as there is a like the reason the Witch King of Angmar is so like confident in his battles is because he's had this prophecy told to him that no man would kill him.
Right.
And so he is like he knows how he's gonna die. So anytime he's in battle with a man, which is majority of the time, because this is like a more realistic medieval sense, how things were back in the day with Western.
Yeah. I don't think women were
medievals,
allowed
but-
in the military back when J.R.R. Tolkien was writing.
Yeah. But so he was very confident in battle because like there was no fucking women fighting
Yeah.
him. It was very like literal.
And she wasn't
And so-
obviously a woman.
if she was wearing armor and had a helmet on,
Yeah.
you know, the Witch King couldn't tell. And I think Uroto is saying it in a similar way, but in the manga it kind of just goes like, you women can't take me. Yeah.
And then
Um,
Ichi's like, I am no woman.
He literally just shows up and he goes, "I'm a man," and stabs him. Like he says it kind of like that. He stares at him and goes, "But I'm a man."
Dick Haver General.
But I do think that it becomes more interesting if you think of Ichi as like a gender fluid, because at some point he what does he say? He says like one of the Majik says like, "But you're not a woman," and then he goes, or I don't remember what the fuck they said, but he just goes, "I don't really like labels."
Yeah, gender
And so-
abolitionist.
Yeah,
Let's
he was
go.
just like, you can call me a man,
correct
you can call me a
person.
woman. I don't really care.
Just
I'm
don't
Ichi and
call
I'm a
me late
hunter."
for dinner.
Hell yeah.
All right, what are we
so
doing next week?
Christian, it's 2 M's, not 2 A's.
I didn't have anything specifically planned, but I ran up and I went, oh, this is one volume. And since you already read Akira, I want to give you a little bit of a preamble for this. So, like, Akira,
We the people.
one of the most...
In order.
Yeah, I get
I
it.
always
The
thought that
preamble
Satoshi
because-
Kon was a movie director.
So that's the
not a
thing.
mangaka.
Satoshi Kon was the direct understudy of Katsuhiro Otomo, who wrote Akira. He was literally like his assistant. And they both together worked on both films and manga. Satoshi Kon started off as a manga author, and for his films, he drew all the storyboards, and he drew the most like detailed storyboards anyone's ever drawn. Like, if you look at his storyboards, it looks like the complete movie. If you look at like Hideaki Anno's storyboards, I could have drawn them that well. Yeah. Satoshi Kon, if you don't know who he is, he
I'm just gonna say something about
Yeah.
Satoshi Kon real quick.
yes.
I guess I'm not.
That's Susumu Hirasawa.
I know he made the song, but
So anyway,
it's in his
I'm just
Satoshi
gonna
Kon
say
movie.
something about Satoshi Kon real quick.
Yeah.
If you've seen Mr. Robot, do not watch Paranoia Agent.
Yeah, well, Bird, we tried to watch Paranoia Agent and we watched the first episode and Bird was like, I already know exactly what's happening and I can predict the ending of this. And I was like, you know what? It does feel that way coming back to it. Anyway, Satoshi Kon directed 4 amazing films and one
Millennium
amazing
Actress,
TV show.
Perfect Blue, Tokyo Godfathers. I don't know. Paprika. Okay.
I'm surprised you knew. You haven't seen any of these movies.
I've
have
seen
you?
some of Millennium Actress because we watched some of it at Landon's house. I've seen most of Tokyo
yeah.
Godfathers, and I've heard about Perfect Blue.
When did you see most of Tokyo God? Did we watch it together? Oh, you passed out during it.
And
That's right.
I have heard about Perfect Blue for literally all of my life.
Really? Why? From who?
I don't want to say her name, but
Okay, anime fan relative.
The one.
Yeah. So, Perfect Blue, I've got a epic 80-minute analysis video about that.
Oh, there's that too.
I highly recommend that I made a couple of years ago. Satoshi Kon died of, I think, pancreatic cancer when he was like 48 years old. And
he was born in 1963 and he died in 2010.
He had a film he was in the process of making called The Dreaming Machine that after he died...
Is Morpheus in that?
Morpheus?
The Dreaming?
No, but it took me a second to realize you weren't talking about The Matrix. Fucking Satoshi Kon was working on The Dreaming Machine. The producer of that film was Masao Maruyama, my personal goat, who is like 90-something now. He created the Studio Madhouse and Studio Mappa and later a studio called Maps, and then he retired. But Masao Maruyama...
he's responsible for some cool shit.
He spent like 10 years trying to find somebody to complete the Dreaming Machine, and simply put, nobody could. Nobody could understand Satoshi Kon's work well enough to actually imitate Satoshi Kon. He is a legend. He is a god taken from us entirely too early.
Rest
But
in peace, Satoshi.
before he was a filmmaker, he was a manga author. This is pre-Perfect Blue. This is, I mean, it's called Opus. It is his opus as a manga author. It is incomplete, technically. It kind of has an ending, but the ending is kind of bullshit, but in a good way. It basically is like, hey, I can't finish this manga, so let me do some meta shit to explain why I can't finish this manga. But as you can see, it is one clean volume, so this will be an easy read. And I remembered we're going to have to do the next Whams on Friday.
Friday or Saturday.
We're going out of town next Saturday.
Again?
We're going to see my dad.
Yeah. We're going up north. So we
it's
have
got
to
be
do
a
it
little
earlier.
shorter. You got to be able to.
This
Well,
one
shit
book.
in.
So
It's a dense book, though.